Well, good evening. This is Map Show number 108, and we are moving forward, and we're excited about bringing a powerful message to you tonight. I would like to encourage you to engage with us this evening. Share your posts on Facebook or via YouTube. Any questions you might have or insights that you would like to share, please do so, and we will engage with you. What a wonderful evening it is, and tonight we have a very special guest speaker, Marvin Horkins, and he's been a member of Map for Life for a number of years, and recently he shared a talk with us at our quarterly MapCon, and the title of his talk was Lead Yourself, the World Will Follow. And he has some exciting tips to share with us relating to that topic this evening. After Marvin has shared his message, I want to just share a few things with you relating to what's happening in Map for Life and how you can be more engaged. And I look forward to doing that with you. So without much more, let's hand over to Marvin.
We have little to say when we begin life's runway and little to say when we end our runway, but we do have control on our runway. So lead yourself first because no one else will. I'm going to tell you the story of Stan the security man. Stan was late in his 50s and working at an airport in Canada. Do you know these security stewards that stand waiting for you after you walk through the metal detector? You wait for that moment when, after emptying everything, and upon walking through the machine that still beeps, there's always a security guy standing there waiting to search you. And this was Stan, the security man. Stan met a passenger one day that was clearly in a hurry to get to her connecting flight. Even after emptying all her pockets, the machine still beeped. So naturally, Stan, the security man, smiled and asked if he could search her bag. After a few minutes of chatting with this lady, and learning that she was a professional speaker, Stan couldn't help but notice her beautiful smile. He asked her for her business card as she left, and that night Stan emailed the lady to say, "Thank you for your smile. It really brightened up my day." The lady, her name was Michelle Ray, kept in touch with Stan, the security man, and learned that Stan had faced quite a tough turn in life. You see, life was good for Stan, then all hell broke loose. His son took his life, his marriage ended, he lost his job as the provincial government fraud investigator, and oh, did I mention that Stan's mom wasn't too well. She was quite frail and Stan was her caregiver. So he started rebuilding his life by taking a job as a security steward and used to influence people positively. Stan Lidley was the leader of himself. He exemplified the principle of me management in every facet of his life as he unselfishly went about his day-to-day responsibilities. At the age of 61, he was diagnosed with cancer and was told he had 3 to 4 months left to live. But still, Stan chose to work as this was his opportunity to still give back and positively influence the world despite his ailments. Again, Stan personified the meaning of a leader as he harnessed the ability to take control and charge of his thoughts and consequently his actions in any situation. Character first and title second. This was Stan the security man. So lead yourself first because nobody else will. When you focus on leading yourself first, you'll see how the world responds. So what do you mean, Marvin? What is the world going to respond? What does that mean? What is self-leadership? Well, I'm glad you asked. Leaders spend a lot of time focusing on external factors, processes, people, and targets. And we're constantly trying to shape and influence those external factors to bring us closer to our goals and our objectives, but how often do you actually spend time focusing on you? You see, the power lies within us. We have the power. Say after me, I have the power. Say it again, I have the power. Lao Tzu says, mastering others is strength, but mastering yourself is true power. So there's four pillars of leadership that I want to quickly touch on. And these four elements that together make the concept of self-leadership what it is. And they all complement each other in very well. So for you to be successful, it's important to actually develop in all four of these areas. So leadership area number one, self-discovery. To be a great leader, we have to understand ourselves. It might sound silly, and I mean, you are you. How can you not be and know yourself? But it's surprising when we don't actually take the time to get in touch with ourselves, we lose sight of who we really are. And when I talk about who you really are, I mean the real you, not the pretend you that, you know, when you're in front of people, you put on this facade and you let the world think that everything's okay. At the core of all of us, we all have a set of beliefs and a set of values that make us who we are. And in a nutshell, your values guide your approach to life and relationships, and discovering them and undiscovering what makes you tick and reveal those some surprising things about yourself. Now, being the best leaders we can be means identifying these values, what they are, and then living and leading them in accordance. When you understand what's important to you, what energizes you, what you believe in, and where you want to be, that's when you make leadership decisions with confidence. Think of all the great leaders in history. They're often considered great because they had the courage to stand up for what they believed in. But to get there, firstly, you have to understand and be 100% clear on exactly what you believe in. Pillar number two, self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is all about being completely honest with yourself and accepting it without self-criticism and without self-sabotage. All too often, we focus on the negatives about ourselves, and perhaps you feel that your career isn't going or progressing as fast as you want it to be, or you're drained with such a lot of stuff that you have to deal with, and you're not capable of driving the results that you want to see. You see, self-acceptance is about recognizing where things aren't going the right way or the way you'd like it to, and understanding that your part in that, and then accepting it. You can recognize where you do things better without beating up yourself and for not already being perfect. Trust me, perfectionism is overrated and technically impossible. Self-acceptance is about accepting where you are, where you might have failed, and shrugging your shoulders and carrying on exactly as before. Instead, it's about also taking responsibility for your feelings and your actions and accepting what is and what isn't possible to change, and developing a plan to handle things differently in future. It's about accepting that you are good enough already, but that everyone will always try to be a little bit better. Importantly, self-acceptance is just about accepting your flaws, but it's also about accepting and owning your strengths. While most people find it easy to point out their flaws, and many of us struggle to openly identify our strengths, when you can honestly identify what you're good at, you can leverage to get the best results. When you achieve self-acceptance, your growth comes from a less stressful place, and your focus on growth in the areas that matter to you, knowing that it's essential to grow, but also being comfortable with where you are right now. The third pillar, or the third level, is self-management. Now, leaders that can self-manage, are more productive and more focused and more able to be and work independently. But what exactly is self-management? Self-management and self-discipline is closely linked. It involves holding yourself accountable and ensuring that you manage your time and resources effectively. Self-management isn't overworking. It isn't about pushing yourself too hard. Remember, your greatest resources that we have is our time and our energy. So self-management means maintaining a good balance and prioritizing the things that you can, the right things. Poor self-management leads to constant firefighting, stress, and burnout. Now, making time for self-development is also part of good self-management, and is ensuring that you don't allow yourself to be distracted when completing tasks for work. Self-management requires self-awareness, and you need to understand what habits you already have so that you can replace less desirable habits with more desirable ones. For example, if you're in the habit of checking your phone every half hour, it's likely that these things are going to disrupt your focus. Instead, retrain yourself to break that habit and replace it with it by kind of creating a blocking time. This allows you to have deeper focus on that you need to do, and it also enable you to be much more effective leader in the long run. You see, self-management also means controlling impulses. Trust me, every time you hear a beep on this device, I feel I feel that urge to want to check what's happening and see who's speaking, who's asking for what, and respond immediately. But the truth is that just creates the wrong sort of behavior, and it forces you to actually rather work on the wrong triggers than on the right ones. See, reflection is an essential part of self-discovery and self-acceptance, and taking the time to self-reflect and regularly helps you keep in tune with yourself and with your priorities and your values, and helps you identify the opportunities for improvements and where you can grow. Self-management builds on self-discovery and self-acceptance by developing the positive discipline to work on the things that align with your strengths and your values. The last and final pillar, and not the least, is self-growth. Self-leadership is all about personal growth and becoming a better leader. It's about being completely honest with yourself, but it isn't about self-criticism. It's about recognizing what you're doing and what, in terms of what is and what isn't working, and how you can make positive changes. It develops a leader's sense of accountability and responsibility for the right things. Self-growth is about striving to continuously improve yourself. It requires being open to feedback and creating a development plan to keep you accountable and on track. Committing to self-growth can make a positive impact in your career and helps you to lead by example for those around you. To harness the strength of self-growth, you need to have a passion for learning and a sense of curiosity. You see, great leaders are curious. They're always asking questions and learning about their industry and themselves. Curiosity helps you to close any knowledge gaps, which makes you more competent. It also inspires you to find a new way to solve old problems. The work that you do for the previous three pillars to identify your values, strengths, and priorities will guide your learning so that it naturally ignites your passion and curiosity. Another large part of self-growth is learning how to embrace failure. Developing a growth mindset allows you to focus on the outcomes without getting frustrated by failure. Recognizing failure for learning opportunity provides and allows you to flourish and to succeed faster. Taking the next steps towards self-leadership requires that you take all four of these pillars, which will basically form the basis of the leadership work that you need to focus on an equal level. You see, they complement and build upon each other to develop you into the best possible leader you can be. Remember, you can't accept yourself until you know yourself. You can't manage yourself until you accept yourself. And when you've mastered those three things, you'll be able to develop yourself in a laser-focused way that energizes you and inspires you and those around you. So in conclusion, when you've achieved the state of true self-leadership, that's when the world follows. It starts with us loving everything about ourselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's this amazing principle about sowing and reaping, which originates from the Bible. When you sow into yourself, you'll reap through others. What do I mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. The minute you love yourself, you'll be able to love others. When you love others, then others will love you. The minute you value yourself, those around you will value you. The minute you value your time, those around you will value your time. Too often we blame the world for things not happening as planned in our life, but the world is actually waiting for us to take the first step, to take control. When you take the first step for you, the world will follow. When you state your intention and you walk in them, the world will follow. If you're not happy with the world around you, stop, look inside, and start looking within. Become clear about you, about who you are, what you believe, what you stand for. Then walk in that with purpose and with conviction, and watch how the world follows. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marvin. What an exciting talk and important points that you have shared with us tonight about leading yourself. And I made a note with the 4 pillars of leadership that you were sharing with us. And I just thought I would repeat that for those of you watching this evening and watching this recording. And the first point that Marvin talked about was self-discovery, which is really all about your core beliefs and values. And what's interesting about Map for Life is that one of the first steps that you do is to establish your position. And right there in the center of the wheel, it talks about your core beliefs and values. So it's a great tool to begin to start your journey of self-discovery. The second point Marvin covered was that of self-acceptance, knowing your strengths. And I think this is a very important point, especially at this time in our life, or rather on the planet. A lot of people are struggling with failure and different things. Maybe things haven't been going the way that you intended. And perhaps this is some really sound advice. And I would encourage you to take a look at your personal gifts and talents and begin to focus on those. Sometimes we learn skills and those skills distract us or take us away from our born gifts and talents. I think it's important for us to get back to those. The next point that Marvin talked about was self-management. And I was just thinking about the MAP Club and how that could be of great value to you, because we have within the club accountability partners. We often say that MAP stands for Meet Accountability Partners, and it would be a good idea in terms of your self-management to have an accountability partner, because we all know that on our own we sometimes renege on this accountability, and we kind of put things off until tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. The fourth and final point that Marvin shared with us in great detail was that of self-development. And I think when we talk about self-development or personal development, something that I've been focusing on more recently is purposeful development. It's so easy to fall into the way everyone else does things and to be measured by the standards that the world has set based on the past. To come up with something new and exciting that challenges the status quo, that requires something special. And I know that there's many people out there who believe that we need to follow the way things are done. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I believe that we have the ability to start operating in a sense outside the world system and stepping into the way the kingdom was set up to operate. And one day I'll share some more thoughts on that with you. In the meantime, we are busy working on different aspects with Map for Life. And Anton, it's just wonderful to have you joining us this evening. And thank you so much for sharing those or posting those 4 points on the YouTube channel. Always good to have you join and to share your insights. I'm trusting that you are in South Africa at the moment. If not, please tell us where you are. I know that the Apprentice Doctor is spreading globally. And every single person who goes into the medical profession one day will be able to attribute that decision to having attended a course with apprentice doctors. So if you have a child who's interested in studying medicine, why not get in contact with Dr. Anton Skierpers? He's one of our associates, and he would love to walk them through a program of self-discovery, in a sense, to see whether this is really a profession that they are passionate about. So Anton, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm busy taking Map for Life in an exciting direction. And as of the 1st of July 2023, we're going to be stepping into a very exciting phase. And I want to just encourage all of our mentors, associates, and partners to brace themselves, because exciting things are going to be happening and you're going to be part of it. There are three areas or three aspects that you'll be able to engage with in Map for Life. And the first one, when a person lands on our new website that is coming soon, is simply the opportunity to get started. So if you're watching this evening or listening to us and you've never actually purchased yourself a copy of Map for Life, or you haven't been through the 20-day program online, it's a full online program that you can go through, I would encourage you to start thinking seriously about that, because it's time for us to map the way forward. You know, when I started working as a young engineer, every meeting somebody would say, let's map the way forward. But nobody had a strategy. Nobody had a tool. And today that has changed. We have the very tool for you to map the way forward and essentially design your tomorrow today. And the question that I often ask people is, why live by default when you can live by design? And I think that many of us don't realize that we can author our own future. And Map for Life is a great tool for you to do so. But just using the tool or understanding the methodology is not as valuable as connecting or linking with like-hearted people. And so we've established the Map Club, and that Map Club is a place where you can join with different groups online, and some even at local venues, at a local cafe or coffee shop, where you can meet with people and discuss certain important topics relating to self-development or purposeful development. And really, these discussions are designed to get you to think differently, to have a different perspective. So we aim to have diverse groups of people connecting together so that we can get unstuck. And this is a great opportunity for personal growth. You know what I find is that when you engage, when you get involved, when you actually share your insights, that is the greatest opportunity to grow. They say the person who grows the most is the person who's teaching somebody. So why not make a point of joining a local MAP club? We have, in fact, I personally host a number of MAP cafes every single week on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and 8 a.m. on those days, and you're most welcome to join. As of the 1st of July, when we start the third quarter for this year, we're going to start running those MAP clubs more seriously, and you'll be able to actively engage and even aspire to join the MAP team. And last night on Wednesday evening, if you go and take a look at show number 111, you will be able to go and find out a little bit more about the MAP team. Essentially, the MAP team comprises four people. And as I mentioned to you, we're going to have a global network of mentors, associates, partners, and some of those people will become directors of their province or their country, or maybe even a region around the world. And if you are passionate about making life purposeful, then we invite you to engage with us. Map for Life is not an organization like the businesses out there that so many people know. We are an organism. We are a collective. We are a group of individual people who have a common goal, a common objective, and that is to enable people to connect with their purpose and passion in all spheres of life. If you would like to be part of that team, I invite you to join us, and I can't wait to meet you in person. It's been such a wonderful pleasure to join with you this evening, and I would like to wish Dr. Anton Skiepers a very, very successful trip to Tampa, Florida, when he leaves next week. So if you are one of our members in the United States of America and you know someone interested in studying medicine, then this could be an opportunity for you to make contact with Dr. Anton and perhaps arrange to have that person that you know participate in his next session in America. And I'm sure that'll be following soon. You never know, there might be a cancellation or an opening and they could get in at short notice. But knowing Dr. Anton, I'm sure that course is fully booked, and you'll be able to find out when he's next in that part of the world. So make the effort. If you'd like to contact him, our contact details are on our website. Just send me a WhatsApp message and I will connect you with Dr. Anton. So guys, we've had a wonderful evening tonight. Thank you so much to Marvin for sharing those key points on recap. The first pillar is that of self-discovery. The second pillar is the one of self-acceptance. We then have the third of for you and I to grow in leading ourselves. And remember, when you lead yourself, others will follow. Please join us every Wednesday evening and Thursday evening at 7 p.m. South African time or 5 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. We would love to have you part of this panel. Join us in studio or online via Facebook or YouTube or even LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining. It's been wonderful spending this time with you. And here's a little bit about what Map for Life is all about. Good night.
The key to a meaningful and successful life is knowing where you are, knowing where you want to be, and how to get there. We all need a map for our lives. Map for Life empowers people from across the world to pursue their God-given purpose with passion and perseverance for life. Map for Life is a personal development program and network that empowers people to realize and develop their unique God-given purpose by means of its structured methodology and interactive learning experiences. We want to help you achieve balance, find direction, reach your goals, and discover your purpose. Our offering consists of unique products, services, programs, and networks. Our publications guide you through the Map for Life methodology. Basic, standard, advanced, and mastery workshops are designed to equip you to identify, reach, and realize your purpose. Our online one-on-one and group coaching programs exist within an accountability framework, fully embedding the Map for Life methodology. Map for Life creates a dynamic environment where purpose-driven individuals can plug into a global community and experience functional networks designed to share with, learn from, and inspire one another. Conceived by Glenn McQuirk in 1978, the Master Action Plan was finally developed and published in 1999. By 2006, Map for Life as an organization was fully trademarked and institutionalized. Our long-term vision was already established as early as 2008, with the global launch event planned for 2020. Next, we will be expanding into 200 countries across 20 languages. There are many success stories that show the real-world effectiveness of Map for Life, including those of Cape Epic rider Neil Faree and more recently, Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o. Our vision for the future is to be a positive global influence and reach 200 countries across the globe to empower people to use MAP for Life, to enable them to achieve balance and purpose, and to become a positive force in the community, country, and globally. By touching lives and transforming people, we will not only enable individuals to identify and pursue their purpose in life, but also bring glory to God by helping them to develop an intimate relationship with their Creator. Partner with us and play an integral role in mapping the world through purpose.